And now, 3 rounds of Fade the Noise, bold takes, sharp bets, and guaranteed heat. Introducing first, the hosts, Joe and Eric.
Hello and welcome back. This is episode 23 of Fade the Noise. I'm your host, Eric. Got my co-host, Joe, CEO of Moneyline Hacks, sponsor of the show. And we've got Angel as always. And we finally have Clark with us today as well. So, new roundup going. Hope you guys enjoy the show. We're going to kick things off with a little UFC recap. Last weekend was RDR versus Brendan Allen. Not going to say anybody. It was a little surprising the way things turned out. So, Joe, you want to give us the recap of the fight? What went the way you thought it would? What didn't?
Yeah, that fight was insane, obviously. I had Renner to Ritter and over that 1.5 round mark. I thought it was going to go a little further. I mean, it did go on pretty well, but I thought Renner to Ritter was going to do his thing, cause those scrambles and not just get held down like he was fighting Hamzat and controlled the whole time, but he got controlled. Allen is really good. I kind of thought that Allen could pull it off here with the right mindset and everything. I know I picked him against Vittori and I said Allen was on the incline, but I didn't think that he had it in him to do what he did to RDR. So good on him. He definitely shut RDR down and made him quit for the second time in his career. UFC is just another dog, and I kind of hate picking fights with these guys that are so hyped up outside the UFC, even if they do well in their first couple of fights in the UFC. He got through Bo Nickel, that he's not really experienced, so really hard to gauge when it comes to these type of fights sometimes. Allen was the perfect matchup for him to see, to show his skill set where he's at, and he showed the opposite of what he wanted to show. He showed he was not on Allen's level when a lot of us thought he was above Allen's level. So Brendan Allen, he's continuing on the up and up, and I expect him to get a title shot pretty quickly. Maybe one more fight, and then he should be fighting for that title soon.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Angel, anything to add?
Yeah, that was a crazy fight. Definitely did not see that coming. He definitely showed out, Brendan Allen, that is, and I didn't think to see it end the way it did. DeRitter wanted out when he gave the nod, so I respect it, and interested to see what's in store for him next. But I think Brendan Allen showed he's kind of the real deal. So who knows what's next, but I think whoever it is in for a challenge.
Completely agree. That's why I still think UFC is the hardest sport to cap. And also that's what makes it great from a fan perspective. Just, constant upsets. All it takes is one touch on the button for somebody and new champ. So, yeah. Big card coming up tomorrow. We've got Aspinall versus Gane. And I'm just going to go last names here. Jandaroba versus Dern are on our chat card, so to speak. You guys can pick the order. Joe, kick us off. What do you have for us? I know you're pumped about the whole card and you kind of narrowed it down to focus on these two for the show.
Yeah. Pumped about the card from top to bottom. We'll be betting every single fight like we usually do. We'll have angles for every single fight. There's some good fights on here. I know Clark is excited for that Volkov fight versus Jailton Almeida. That's going to be a good one. I'm personally really excited for Chris Barnett's return. He had a long layoff and hasn't really been as active as he should be, just because he's had some personal issues that he had to deal with. So glad to see him back. He's fighting Hamdi. Hamdi's also some crazy Egyptian wrestler. Very good wrestling. Barnett has good wrestling. It's going to be 2 thick boys in the heavyweight division getting down. I love it. But yeah, so let's start off with Jandaroba versus Mackenzie Dern. That's a co-main event of this fight. It is a strawweight title fight for the 115-pound strap. It is a rematch. Mackenzie Dern beat Jandaroba the first time. Looked like it was by a unanimous decision as well. Such a different fight though nowadays. 5 years later, both women very experienced. Jandaroba on a 5-fight win streak. Mackenzie Dern won her last 2, and her last one was in great fashion, getting an armbar over Amanda Ribas. So both girls have very good momentum coming into this fight. Jandaroba is a world-class Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, especially on her top game. Dern, an elite submission grappler as well. And it's going to be very good. She works with Jason Perillo, who's really helped her narrow down those technical, basically, flaws she had in her striking. Last time she fought Jandaroba, her striking is much better now. So I expect to see Dern and Dandaroba actually play this out on the feet. Usually when you get two top-notch grapplers, it ends up playing out on the feet, whether it be two top-notch wrestlers or two top-notch Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners. Usually these fights end up playing out on the feet. So I expect this to play out on the feet. Whoever has the better striking, whoever can find the better angles, whoever could make the bigger splash moments in this fight will get it done. And I think it's going to be a close decision win on this one. So definitely go with the decision on this. That might be minus 200, minus 250. Use it as a parlay piece. I'm loving the decision on this fight.
Awesome. Cool. And Angel, you want to do Jandaroba, and then we'll do you both for Aspinall and Gane?
For sure. Yeah, Mackenzie Dern's definitely the more hyped up fighter in this fight, although her opponent seems to be on more of a consistent fighting schedule. Mackenzie Dern, she's the younger fighter, and she won the first fight. Some say an eye poke changed the momentum of that fight. Who knows? Anything can really change the momentum, but I think this fight will be more of a growth kind of match to see where they came since the 5 years that's passed since their rematch. Dern is 1-0 in her rematches against her former opponents that beat her, so I think she might show her skills, and I think she's gonna find herself in a striking contest for 5 frames. I don't think she wants to get in a grappling battle, but I think she will. I'm pulling it for Mackenzie Dern in this fight.
Hell yeah. And I know you were just going to say her first name and then switched it, but I'm probably going to call her McDern from now on.
Hey,
I don't know. I like it.
Whatever
she
you
definitely
like,
is. She definitely is the more marketable fighter. If she gets that bout, they're going to market her everywhere.
For sure.
I welcome it. All right. And back to Joe. Aspinall versus Gane, part 2. And we're going to see how things go. I don't really know. Aspinall seems like a clear cut. I'm going to look up the odds. I'm sure you already have them, though.
Aspinall is minus 400 and Gane is plus 300 on ESPN.
Thank you.
You threw me off right now because you said again. I thought this was a rematch after you said that. I was like, hold up. Did I miss something? But no. No rematch here. We've been waiting for these guys to meet up. We've been waiting for them to fight. I know Big Tom has been waiting. He said Gane has been dodging him, filming Netflix shows and all that. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Obviously, off the top of my head, we want to say who could beat Tom, right? But I think if there is a guy in this division that could beat Tom, it is Gane. I think he's a beast. He has some of the best technical striking out there. Ngannou didn't want to stand with him, and Francis Ngannou trained with Gane when they came up together during that early UFC run. So he knows exactly how good Gane's striking. So that's why he took Gane down and held him down for 5 boring rounds. And then trust me when I say Gane has the striking to pick apart Aspinall. But he cannot get caught. Aspinall is such a fast twitch, explosive athlete that he's quick. He's like Brock Lesnar Jr. kind of. He's just so quick for how big he is. He moves like a welterweight, but he's nearly 300 pounds of muscle. So Aspinall's nothing to joke with at all. I do think that this fight, obviously, it could go quick, but I do think this fight will last. Maybe the over. I don't know if the over set to 3.5 rounds or something like that, but if it is, that'd be a perfect line because I think it could go to 3 or 4 rounds in this fight. If it ends early, I do think it's Aspinall catching Gane. I think Gane, if he's going to win, he has to pick them apart, be methodical, slow it down, play a chess match. Gane did get caught. I think it was by Tai Tuivasa, who's not the best striker. He got dropped in that fight, and then he came back to, I think, knock out Tuivasa. I think that's who I'm thinking about. So Gane has been caught. He has had his chin tested. He can get dropped. If Aspinall drops him like that, I think he swarms on Gane and finishes the fight. So Gane could not slip up at all. Yeah, expect this if it goes early for Aspinall to get the KO. But I think it'll last around that 3 or 4 round mark. Maybe even get a decision. There probably will be very good plus money on the decision. It's one of my favorite bets to place is 2 elite heavyweights that I know could pace themselves, have pretty good defense, and can go to a decision. Usually they're plus 600, plus 700. So if that's the line that they have right now for the decision in this fight, definitely worth the sprinkle.
Okay, thank you very much. And you were right. I misspoke. I was thinking of what's his face for him, Curtis Blades. That's why I thought it was again, even though that just happened. And just to add on, I checked on FanDuel, and right now it's about plus 500 to go the distance. The total for the fight is set at 1.5 rounds, with over 1.5 being minus 108.
Oof.
That is good. I like that then. That's a good angle. I mean, like, if it goes to the second round, they're probably going to go to a third or fourth. I think if it gets past that first round, I like that over. So over 1.5, it's a very good play. You could even sprinkle the decision, but like I said, these are some big boys, and Big Tom could get them in that first round still. So lots of angles on this fight for sure.
Absolutely. Angel, anything to add?
But yeah, this is gonna be an insane UFC heavyweight champion matchup. When I look at the stats, Aspinall has a 1-inch height advantage, but Gane has a 3-inch reach advantage. That might help him. He's gonna need all the help he can get against Tom Aspinall. He hasn't fought in over a year. July 27th being his last fight, and I think he's ready. He's been wanting to fight, but he hasn't been able to fight because no one wants to fight him. He hasn't been getting that John Jones fight, of course. But that's never going to happen. So, yeah, this is a tough one. Aspinall's 15-3. 14 of those 15 wins are first-round finishes. He's insane. He comes out shooting like he's ready. He's ready to go. I don't see this fight maybe getting past that 1.5 round mark, so it's tough because he's like a lion. Aspinall, that is, and once you open that cage, he's ready to go. I think he's gonna want to take this to the ground and maybe tap out Gane. You know what I mean? Gane, former soccer player, he's improved since his last fight on the ground. That is getting ready, but I don't know. It's just hard to get ready for someone that you don't got much film on. You know, Aspinall wants to get past 1 round, 2 rounds, but no one lets him. So we'll see if Gane can be that man. But I'm riding Tom Aspinall, somewhat of a first-round finish.
All right. I can't wait. I just sent our little text group a screenshot of the odds for all the finishing options or how the fight ends. I mean, it was all plus money. Granted, Aspinall KO was plus 100, but still, I'll take that.
What is Aspinall KO first round? I feel like if
parlay.
Wait, you said Aspinall KO? Yeah, because if you said Aspinall KO plus 100, is that what you just said?
Yes.
The first round KO has to be like plus 150.
It's going to be even better than that. FanDuel has that for rounds 1 or 2 as like
nice.
You can, yeah. I don't know.
I would do rounds 1 or 2 because I love that. There's a reason why that's set at over 1.5. You know, Gane has the skill set to get past that first round, but does he have the skill set to get past the second round and the third? It's just you know, it's good. By the second round, we should know kind of whose game plan is starting to take over. So it really just depends. But I think Aspinall, if you want to play Aspinall to get a KO, I would say do it in round 1 or 2.
All right. I promise you I will. Cool. All right. So yeah, we have a huge UFC card coming up. Just don't forget, join the Discord. There's going to be free plays and great energy, a lot of fun. Come hang out. I promise you'll be happy. Cool. Let's move on to the NFL slate. I know I say it every week. This season continues to be a nightmare for me personally for various reasons, mostly just because people can't do their damn jobs or do it too well sometimes. Mike Evans, biggest regret of 2025 probably for me. But yeah, we'll brush on past that. We've got a nice slate, and we're going to kick things off with Dolphins at Falcons. I'm not going to call that an interesting matchup considering the other games we have to talk about, but I think Dolphins are close to blow it up territory. So Falcons are major favorites at minus 455 when I last looked. I don't know if it's going to be like how savage of a beating, but I think we're all pretty confident that the Dolphins are incapable of doing anything. So yeah, I'm just going to go clockwise for this one. Joe, you're up first. You want to kick us off?
Yeah, so Dolphins at Falcons seems like another predictable game like yesterday. You know, week 8 started off with Chargers winning. And the Sharps thought that the Vikings were going to get it yesterday, but it looked like the Chargers pulled it off. That was our play of the day. And it's going to be no different with this one. It's pretty obvious what's going to happen. I think the Falcons do cover the spread. Tua's not having a great season at all. The staff's not great on the Dolphins. And Michael Penix Jr. is day-to-day, but it is looking like he may play. You never know what you're going to get with the backup Kirk Cousins, but it is not a night game or Monday. So even if Kirk had to step in, he should be all right. Yeah, I think Atlanta is going to be playing from ahead the whole time. Bijan's just unhuman. That dude's like a cyborg. The running duo, when you throw in Algier, whatever the heck his name is, Tyler.
I got you.
Whenever you throw that guy in there with Bijan, that's just a hell of a duo. It allows them to squeeze possessions, and Miami's offense is just leaky. They allow a lot of explosive plays as well, and turnovers galore. So, I think this is pretty obvious. I could go on and on why the Falcons are going to win, but I do like them. I do like them to get that team total over, especially if Penix is healthy. I do like them to have that team total over. I'm not going to give away too much because this is probably one of my best bets. So let's keep it pushing.
You got it. And yeah, I was surprised that the spread was 7.5. I'd probably eat the juice on that one, but that's attractive in my opinion. Cool. So Angel, you'd be up next. Anything to add? And if no one else brings it up, I'm curious about how Kane's going to do, because they have a really good run defense and Miami's, incapable of doing things. So
Yeah, I think for Miami, Kane is probably the best player right now, and they need to rely on that run game for any positive things to start happening, because you cannot rely on just Tua's arm. In back-to-back games, he's thrown 3 interceptions, so that's 6 total in 2 games. Not good. He needs help, man. He needs Kane to do good, and last game he did do good. 13 attempts, 82 yards, 6.3 yards a carry. Let the dude run. I mean, nothing else is really working from the looks of it. Yeah, Michael Penix, like Joe said, he did hurt his foot. He is day-to-day. He did take 2 sacks last game. And you can't let your quarterback get hit, Bad things can happen to him, but I think he will play, if I had to guess. Yeah, Bijan Robinson did not have the game that you think he would have. Held to 40 rush yards, 52 receiving yards. He didn't come in at the end of the game because 49ers just kept coming in. Falcons' run defense is not good, and this could be good for Miami. They let Christian McCaffrey have a pretty big game last week. 129 rush yards, 2 touchdowns. That's 5.4 yards a carry, and they let him catch also a lot of balls. So I think, Devon Kane can be that guy. Just give him the ball, give him the opportunities. Miami's D is not good, 29th in the league at 29.3 points per game. Falcons did only score 10 points last week, but I think they're going to rebound and score a lot more this week. Miami scored 6 points last week, so they both need to score more points. So, yeah, the Miami's defense, they're not that good. They just gave up 3 touchdowns to Quinshawn Judkins, and I think they're going to give up a few touchdowns to Bijan Robinson, if I had to guess. Miami went 1 for 13 on 3rd downs last week. You got to convert some of those 3rd downs.
damn.
Yeah, I think Atlanta's going to win this game, and I think all of America does too. So this would be quite the upset if I have ever seen one. But I look for Kyle Pitts and Drake London to get some catches and some yards. That's it.
Okay, sweet. Thank you. And thanks for giving your thoughts on Kane as well. I don't know why I thought the Falcons' rush defense was better than it actually is, but especially considering I'm looking at a list of defensive rankings. Overall, they're better than you would think, but yeah, rushing they fall short. So
They're eighth
cool.
in the league, 20 points per game. The Falcons defense, so that's something.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. And you won't have to go last every time, but Clark, anything to add for this game?
I mean, just to take a different opinion on this game, I know the Dolphins just got smoked by the Browns, but really they're in 1-possession games the last 3 games. Other than that, 27-29 against the Chargers, they lost. 24-27 against the Panthers. 27-21. You're giving me the 7.5. That extra half, I mean, that could be like the Falcons can throw, but is Penix hurt? Like we were talking about before. Mike McDaniel's job is on the line. This dude's going to be throwing the house at them. I mean, whether or not Tua can even hit a receiver at this point is questionable. But, I mean, 7.5, it's the NFL. These dudes get paid. They get paid millions of dollars to show up to work every day. Vegas can't be that far off, can they? I mean, because we all think this is like a 10.5, 13.5 point line. We think like the Falcons are going to smoke them, but Vegas doesn't. If 7.5 is not a whole lot compared to what you think would happen, so I'll take the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins 7.5. I'll take the points and see what happens. I mean, yeah, they're on the road, but I kind of like it. I think Vegas has probably got that right. 76% of the bets are on the Falcons right now.
Yeah,
that's a staggering. That line's probably going to keep going up too, I think.
That's not a bad angle to have at all, though. I mean, they're at the Falcons are at home. They already get 3.5 points. It's not like Vegas is, very, very high on the Falcons.
Right.
Maybe they know something we don't. So not a bad angle at all. You're making me rethink my best bet.
Me too, a little bit. Although I will say, I think the domination that I was thinking of anyway was going to be not in terms of score, but performance, like eye test domination, because it's not like the Falcons are anything amazing. They're just an debatably above average football team, but the Dolphins are that bad. So yeah, I could totally see a close score, and things happen. Takes one fluke, one bad throw. It's not like Penix is Tom Brady. So
that's Drake May.
Yeah,
true.
That's a very good point, Clark. It's a hell of an intro to the show.
The last thing I'll say with that is, don't put too much stock in one game, because that happens so much. Like, we watch teams get blown out, and then we're just like, fade them next week, and then they show up and win. So don't put too much stock in one game.
That's football for sure.
I didn't come here for a lecture, and I'm happy about how much money I lost last night. So I'm just kidding. It's solid advice. Okay, sweet. So next up, we've got what I consider a pretty wild game. I already know what Joe's going to say, but we'll get there. We've got Cowboys at Broncos. I think this is a tough one. Broncos are minus 185. I don't think they should be. I think it's very hard to pick a side. I do think that the Broncos excel at taking away a team's top receiving option, but when you're blessed with more than one wide receiver one, you've got some options on the table. They're not a shutdown defense. We're going to take away your best option kind of thing, we're not letting you score at all. It's a tough matchup, but with the way Dak's been balling out, and then you can just go to Pickens or go to Ferguson. I mean, I think Pickens said it earlier this year, pick your poison, and they're going to have to, honestly, and I don't really want to think about the flip side of things. Sean Payton's a vindictive little man, and I'm sure he's going to want to just be petty and do things to embarrass our defense, and he might get away with it. So going to move past that, hear what the experts have to say. And Angel, starting with you this time, what do you think about this game?
But yeah, this is going to be my favorite game to watch, not only because I'm a Cowboys fan, but because this is going to be a very good matchup. The Cowboys are trying to snap a 7-game losing streak against the Broncos. All time, they're 9-5. Dak Prescott has thrown 3 touchdowns and no interceptions in 4 straight games. So like I said last week, I think he's going to do that again. Although the Broncos defense is kind of tough, they do allow 18 points per game usually, but they did just allow 32 points to the New York Giants. They're coming off a game where they scored 0 points in the first 3 quarters, but then scored 33 points in the fourth quarter to win. So they are riding some momentum right now. Bo Nix, he's pretty good, man. He's quite the arm, and he can also run. 5 carries, 48 yards, 2 touchdowns last week, 279 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns. This is going to be an offensive battle, I think. The Cowboys are also coming off their best defensive game of the year, allowing 219 pass yards to Jaden Daniels and Marcus Mariota. They also got 4 sacks last week, so I think they need to send some pressures toward Nix's way and create some turnovers. And yeah, like you said, we have a lot of options, the Cowboys that is, for Dak to throw to, so you can't double team anyone because you're leaving Ferguson open, who scored a touchdown in 4 straight games. You're leaving Pickens open. You can leave Lamb open, but you're going to have to. You have to pick your poison, like you said. Javonte Williams is very nice. This is what the team that he originally came from, the Denver Broncos. So someone said this could be a revenge game, and I look for it to be that way as well. Coming off a game where he had 19 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown, I look for him to do the same, if not better. And yeah, man, it's going to be an interesting game. And I'm going to have to go with Cowboys on this side.
I like it. I do. It'd be awesome if Williams had like a Dowdle game, like what Dowdle did to us.
150. Mark it down.
Yeah, right. And we get Demarion Overshawn back, right?
I hope so. I like when we get players back.
Yeah.
It's trending
Cool.
that way.
Hope so. He's a UT boy like myself, and I like him on the field just
And he's one of the
because of that.
flash players the Cowboys have. He's good.
Oh yeah.
Definitely
Last
need
thing I
him
want
back
to say is that
on
Dak has had
the
less
defense.
than one sack taken in 4 games. So if you protect your quarterback, you're gonna win some games. And if they can protect them, they just might win another.
The thing is that's more on Dak. Our O-line's kind of been average. Dak has just been playing lights out, getting rid of it quick, making reads ultra fast. Like, I've been watching Dak for a long time, and he's processing things a lot quicker these last few years. So it's gonna be
Yeah,
good.
he's
Yeah,
nice.
I guess I'll just go into mine since I'm talking, but
Go for it.
but yeah, like I agree with Angel. He broke that down pretty good. The Cowboys have lost their last 7. I'm actually in Denver, and ever since I've lived here for at least 10 years, we've lost every game against the Broncos. So then I did some digging and saw we're 7-2 since the 90s against the Broncos, and those two being in the 90s, early 90s. So we're really, really needing a win here. And I'm gonna take Clark's philosophy from that last game we talked about. He can't get too high on these trends, or the Broncos always being the Cowboys, or the Cowboys being a terrible defense. I think the Cowboys are going to come to play this Sunday, and the Broncos have only won 2 games this year when they've allowed their opponent to score more than 20. So do you think the Cowboys could score more than 20 on them? I do.
Oh
I
yeah.
think they're going to at least get 24, 27 on them. At least. So yeah, I'm liking the Cowboys in this game. I do think it's going to be not a shootout, but I think it's going to be the Broncos defense just their great defense trying to stop the Cowboys high powered offense. I think it really comes down to what unit you trust, Cowboys defense versus the Broncos offense. And I know the easy top of the head thing would be Broncos offense, because they have amazing fourth quarters and all this, but I just don't think it's going to be that clear cut. I do think Javonte might have a revenge game against them. I think the Cowboys have a little more to prove right now, honestly, in my opinion. Maybe I'm biased, maybe I'm not, I don't know, but I just think, I think the Cowboys are going to have their way with the Broncos this game. Knicks is great in late games. If Dallas plays catch up, that's not always good, because Dallas doesn't have a great catch up record. But if they do have to play catch up, look for CeeDee Lamb to have a big game. If you see the Cowboys are already behind, CeeDee Lamb's going to have a big game. And I think I heard something yesterday that makes me confident in this. I think Brandon Aubrey is going to have a huge game. I think he's going to be with the altitude. I hear analysts saying that he's going to break the record in this game for kicks. So let's see if that happens. Regardless, I do think that even if we're within the half, 60-yard line, 65-yard line, 70-yard line, I think they're going to let Aubrey kick it. So look for his points for the over, and I'll just stay silent before I give away too much of my best bets.
I love that. Happy Gilmore foot for Aubrey. Just take all the year out while you're in Denver. Good analysis, though. I like it. There were a bunch of angles in there that I hadn't thought of, so thank you very much. We're going to go on to Clark. Clark, if you have an equally impressive take this time, you're going to set a very high standard for what I expect from you, and then when I'm going to call you out in front of everybody.
I hope everyone does. This game makes no sense. I told Eric this. This game makes no sense statistically, trend-wise. Cowboys are 3-0 as dogs. Broncos are 1-4 as favorites. And then the Broncos have won 7 straight. The game makes no sense. So now you got to look at teams. You're going to put Patrick Surtain. He's going to shadow CD everywhere he goes. I don't want anything to do with Surtain. That dude is an absolute monster. And he locks in. CD's number 1, 2, or 3 receiver in the league, in my opinion. You could change Jefferson and Chase based on who's got the better quarterback with CD. CD's got the best quarterback right now. So I guess that makes him the number 1 receiver. But is he going to get locked up by Surtain? You don't really shut him down, but you slow him down. A great game is going to be 60 yards, I think. Cowboys might be kicking some field goals like we were just talking about. So over 1.5 field goals for Aubrey. That's probably a good line, a good way to take a game that's hard to pick, because I don't like Broncos -3. I'm sorry. they just struggled with the Giants and had the 33-point fourth quarter just against the Giants. It makes no sense. So I think you have to look at different angles of this game. I don't really like the spread, so you got to start looking at props, I think. And I don't really like the over-under because I think it's pretty spot on. So
50
I think this
points.
is a player prop game, you know. If obviously the game, it's offense top three, or sorry, the Broncos are the third overall defense in the league going against the number one offense in the league. I always like defense over offense, but you also got to be able to score too. You're not going to, you know, win against the Cowboys scoring 14 points or 17 points, you know. So Bo Nix has not showed me anything yet that's, I feel like, is good quarterback play, unlike the last 6 games that he finished last season where he was on fire. So I don't know. He has to turn the corner because he's kind of, I mean, he brought them back by running the ball, which he haven't really been super effective at this year, but he might be able to scramble on the Cowboys. So like I said, I think the kicking points is probably the way I'll go in that game. And I'm going to stay away from the spreads just because I think I can't tell who's going to win.
I get that. I'd probably tease it, honestly. And you made some good points about Nix. I mean, maybe Sean Payton did work that Ferris Bueller out of him over the summer. I don't know if anyone remembers that quote from last year. Anyway.
All I know, Knicks is getting worse. I feel like he's played worse his last few games. Like he's starting so we'll see. It's small sample size, but he's definitely looking like he's regressing. Maybe he's hot and cold. Maybe he'll end up getting hot again like the last 6 games of last season. But for now, it's just he's volatile.
Really what it is in the NFL is there's always sophomore slumps, I feel like. It happens to everybody because there's tape. These dudes have tape on them. They know what their tendencies are. And I think that's what's happening is the league has adjusted, which, you know, we're watching Jackson Dart light it up. I mean, that dude's making insane throws, but there's not a whole lot of tape.
Yeah. Next year, who knows? And we already see CJ Stroud still in his sophomore slump. Isn't he a junior or senior now?
I know. And he had the most magnificent first year.
Yeah.
Sophomore slumps are real in the NFL for quarterbacks.
One.
Yeah.
That's why they get paid the big bucks. Figure it out. Yeah. See what your books give you. Be like Dak. Take what they give you, you know? Make the right decision. What? DraftKings has really difficult kicking lines for that game.
On purpose.
We'll see kind of what happens. And I mean, honestly, not for this game, naturally, but they really need to get Bo Nix a solid, like, wide receiver one.
You don't like Sutton?
Right. Cool. He's fine. I don't think he's
I think he's
more as
serviceable as
any
a
of
wide
our
receiver one.
pass catchers.
I mean, he's not bad.
I mean,
What about
Ferguson's a
Sutton?
better.
He only has 80
like
plus
Sutton, I'm
yards
just saying,
in
I
5
don't-
of his last 6 games. Throw him the ball. Marvin Mims is on the
Yeah.
come up. He had options.
What's the alternative, though?
Run the ball.
Wide receiver 2 is trash. That I agree with.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Angel's just
I
trolling.
like that.
There's like 2 different conversations going on here, but let's go on. The wide receiver 2 is trash. Let's go.
All right, sweet. And last up, we've got Packers at Steelers. Packers are slight favorites at -162. Aaron Rodgers, not going to say anything. He's a disaster, just in general, not at football. Weird guy. So I have no idea how he's going to perform on any given night, how it's going to feel with Green Bay. It's just, and I mean, they're at home. So I don't know how many connections he has left to the team, honestly. I saw that post of Bakhtiari was like trolling his former best friends. I don't know. Clark, you're going to kick us off for this one. Rock my world.
I mean, Steelers at home. You can get +3.5 right now on -125. Home dogs. I love home dogs in football. One of my favorite things to bet, honestly. Totally not a Steelers fan, but I mean, the homer in me wants to take it. And the Packers are not impressive right now. They started off the season, we thought they were the best team in the league. Last 4 weeks, we've watched slumps and averageness. But that's the NFL. These dudes get paid, right? I mean, Green Bay is not really showing me a whole lot, although 68% of the bets, just total bets, are on Pittsburgh, which scares me.
Ooh.
And you're only getting 3. That's a lot. And I don't know. It's a hard line to pick, but I'm probably going to go home dogs and just hope that the Steelers can play some defense unlike they did against the Bengals on a short week. I will say that Pittsburgh had a few extra days because they played on Thursday last week. They get a few extra days to plan for this game, and this is a big game because the Steelers should have beat the Bengals last week, and they would have owned this division with, we're this early in the season. This has never happened in the AFC North. So this is a big game. If they lose this, they will open this division back up if the Ravens can get healthy and get Lamar back. So I think Tomlin's going to pull it all out, and they're going to have to be able to throw the ball. I like the Rodgers view of him going against his former team, and we know that dude will hold grudges. And give me the Steelers +3.
Okay, I hear you. I was looking at DraftKings, is saying slightly more even spread of bets percentage-wise. Pittsburgh was at 46, so
Okay.
we're gonna have to wait and see. Honestly, there's a lot of variance, but I agree with everything you said. And screen positions have changed, so whatever. Angel, what do you got for us? Packers Steelers.
But yeah, Packers #1 seed in the NFC. We got a pretty good matchup here. Someone say it's a revenge game for Aaron Rodgers. He says it's not. I think he's lying. I don't know. He says he has no animosity towards the organization, but he might towards certain people. He has nothing but good. Like he left. I mean, he was there for like all of his career, you know? I think he has nothing but good feelings towards the organization. So, but I do think he's gonna light them up. Yeah, Steelers got upset against the Bengals last week. No one saw that coming. Uncle he's there, so watch out for the Bengals. The Green Bay, they beat the Bengals. So we're gonna see what happens between these two teams. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Aaron Rodgers, he's defying father time. He's 41. He has one of the quickest releases in the NFL. What is it? 0.63 seconds to throw after the snap, and he's still throwing 70-yard bombs, as we saw in the last play of that Bengals game. So he might not be running like he used to, but he's throwing. He has one of the quickest brain processing. Like, I don't know how he thinks, but for quarterbacks, it's elite. And I think that Packers defense has a tough challenge. They had 6 sacks last week against the Arizona Cardinals. Micah Parsons had 3 of those. His best game as a Packer so far. Misty Parsons. I think he's going to get some more sacks. And yeah, they need to confuse Rodgers. They need to disrupt his rhythm. They can't let him get to his spot. Otherwise, it's like poetry, is what Micah Parsons says. Josh Jacobs, 2 touchdowns in 3 straight games. Like, this dude can run. I don't know what injury he has or sickness he has, but it doesn't matter. Just hand him the ball. Steelers' rush defense is not there. They just allowed 142 yards. That's not good. Yeah, I think I don't know. Jordan Love, he's good. He learned from Rodgers, as Rodgers learned from Favre. Passed down the torch to Jordan Love, and this is going to be a good matchup. Tucker Kraft, I think he's going to get a couple of receptions. He's a very high red zone target for Jordan Love, and the Steelers' defense is not good against tight ends. DK Metcalf, he had a touchdown in 4 of his last 5 games. In the last game, he did not have a really good game. Some would say it was a dud so far in the season. Only 5 catches for 50 yards. So I look for him to catch some balls, and Jaylen Warren will be a good quick pressure release to throw to in case there's any Micah Parsons coming after him. You know what I mean? So I'm taking Warren receiving yards for sure. But yeah, Packers are favored by 3, but I'm going Steelers on this one. Let's go.
All right. I get that. Joe?
Yeah, I mean, Angel and Clark have broke it down pretty good already. Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he's as salty as Brett Favre was, so I don't think it's much of a revenge game. He's not back at Lambeau either. I think as long as TJ Watt's good to go, I agree with Angel. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to light him up and they'll get the win. I think they'll get it outright. I like this. It's kind of like, Jordan Love has to be patient, not make the right decisions. And Rodgers, I think he's just going to continue doing what he's doing. He's not having a terrible year this year, and I think he's just going to continue being on the up and up. I think this is going to be a good game for him. And Tomlin's defense, they've lived on takeaways. Love's road splits have been streaky, so I'd expect Green Bay to script early runs, quick outs to settle him in, and I don't think that's going to lead to keeping pace with Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. So I'm liking the Steelers in this matchup.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. And I was curious because I have a horrible memory and just looked it up. So Jordan Love's played against the Steelers once. It was in almost 2 years ago. It's going to be very close to exactly 2 years ago. He left with a pretty good game other than the fact that he threw 2 interceptions. So he ended up with like a 72% or a 72 passer rating. I would like to think that he's learned a couple things in those 2 years. So might be in for a nice game. I'll watch that one.
For
Absolutely.
Sure.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate all the insight. I always let what y'all say inform my bets every week, and then I lose all my money on my own.
It's all good. It's all good. It's time for
Yes,
that
sir.
soccer debut.
Yeah. Okay. Let's actually, yeah, let's do it this way. We'll start things off with Clark. His first play last week, Arsenal and under 3.5 hit at plus money. I was told it was easy money. So Clark, this is the lock it in segment. Your first one in person. What do you got for us?
So the game of the week for me in Premier League is going to be Sunday. Arsenal and Crystal Palace again. I'm going to keep Arsenal's top of the table. They need this game. They started off probably the hardest part of their schedule was what they've played so far. Crystal Palace is no slouch, even though they just lost to a team I've never heard of from Cyprus, 1-0 at home. So yeah, if you guys can show me where Cyprus is on the map, I'd be impressed.
Cyprus.
So to break down the game though, the angle that I like is both teams to score, but you're going to get plus 100 because Arsenal has only let up 3 goals the whole year in 8 games. They've let up 3 goals, Premier League record that they tied. And the last time that happened was 1998. So that's quite an impressive defense. Crystal Palace, though, is kind of the team that they're going to struggle with because they can counterattack. And Mateta should have won last week. They had a 3-3 game against Bournemouth where they went down to then 2 goals in the second half. And then Mateta blasted it over the crossbar on open net in the last minute of the game that they tied 3-3. So the dude averages 2.1 shots on target a game. They're going to look to counterattack and break out against Arsenal. I think both teams score is probably the best angle because there's no point in playing Arsenal minus 250, I believe is the line. So there's no value there. You just need 1 goal from Crystal Palace, and I think Arsenal can score. Crystal Palace plays great defense too. That's the other thing. So they're going to be looking for counterattacks and breakouts. Palace have scored 6 of the last 7 Premier League games, and they lost on Tuesday or yesterday, 0-1 at home with an expected goal of 1.6 versus 0.17. Basically, they got 1 lucky goal and then just packed it in and said, good luck scoring, and we're going to play with 11 people behind the ball in our box. And the other stat that I will give you, both teams have scored in the last 3 straight of Crystal Palace and Arsenal. So you're going to give me plus 100, plus money. They've happened 3 straight. They've scored 6 of 7. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I know they've only given up 3 goals, but they can score. So that's my angle for that game, and I'm going to say that's the best bet of the week and the best game of the week.
Deal.
I know nothing about soccer, nothing at all about soccer, and that sounds good to me. I'm tailing.
Absolutely. And if you're feeling risky like me, I might do a little bit of that minus 250 Arsenal with the Dern fight to start round 4. Start round 3 maybe. I don't know. I do know that everyone here is smarter than me and makes better decisions. So, combining them can't be bad, right? More's always better. America.
Don't downplay yourself, Eric. Let's get it.
Sweet. So, cool. And I guess let's go to Joe for Lock It In next. Last week, he called the Cowboys team total / game total. I didn't go back and check, and I wrote both down. But the UFC bet was also there. It was that RDR over 1.5, so that one missed. I would say the Cowboys covered their team total just fine.
It's a little
And
bit.
yeah, flying colors. Oh yeah. Cool. What do you got for us this week?
So today for Lock It In, I have 3 best bets. Clark scared me with one of them, so I'm not going to throw that in there for that game. But let's start off. Let's go back to that Cowboys and Broncos game. I just think Aubrey's going to have himself a day. I think, even in fantasy, he hasn't really achieved above 15 points this year, I think. But I think he's going to have a day. I think yeah, I know. But last year he was going
Best
like 15
kicker.
to 20 points every single game. But I told you guys the Cowboys are better in the red zone now, so he isn't scoring as much in fantasy. But I still think he's going to have a day because I don't think they're going to be as good in the red zone against the Broncos. I do think that he's going to have over that 8.5 kicking points. So take that. Best bet number 2, I do have the Bills and the Panthers. Take their over. I think it's going to be a faster offense-friendly script in this game. I think the Bills offense can always carry that scoring, and then Carolina's QB situation usually allows for some good chunk plays. So I think that's going to happen against the Bills. I think they're going to be able to get over that. I think it's 47 line right now. Then the last best bet I have, I really struggled between this one and between Josh Allen anytime touchdown and the Giants +7. But I'm gonna go with Giants +7 just because the Allen anytime touchdown is pretty automatic. I mean, you guys know what to do. Put that in a parlay piece if it's too juicy. But my official best bet number 3 is that Giants +7 against the Eagles. And the market's giving a full touchdown to the divisional dog, and the offense is trending up under that rookie, Jackson Dart. And Jackson Dart, not much film on him. I'm thinking that the offense is going to continue to offense under him, even against the Eagles. The Eagles, in my opinion, are overrated. Not biased at all, but I still think they're overrated.
Trash.
I think the Giants... I think the Giants are going to be able to keep it close, and I definitely love that +7 as a value bet. I think it's some great value this week. If it dips below +7, definitely reduce your unit size. I'm liking Giants +7 against the Eagles.
Tease that game. You just convinced me. 7.5 is a sweet spread. Just, I don't know about the home field advantage, but I think we can all agree Philly sucks. So thank you very much. Angel, what are your lock it in picks for this week?
But yeah, so I got 4 best bets, 4 different sports. We'll start with the World Series. We got Dodgers against the Blue Jays. Quite the matchup, but tonight on the mound we got Blake Snell. He's on another level. He's only allowed 3 runs over his past 6 starts, striking out 28 batters in 3 playoff appearances. So I'm taking that under 1.5 earned runs allowed, because I think maybe if he does allow earned, they pull him. So I don't know. That's what I would do. But that's my first bet. My second bet is back to that Cowboys Broncos game. You remember J.K. Dobbins? Just kidding. We're talking about Javonte Williams. Revenge game. Last game he had 116 yards. And guess what? He only needs 63 yards to cash. That's cashed in the 4 of the last 5 games, and I think this one's going to cash a little extra. My third is NBA. The Bucks, they got a player named Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's insane. I love his rebounds line. He only needs 12 to cash, had 14 in his last game, and I think it cashes pretty easy. They do have a Kevin Porter out tonight. Brook Lopez is gone to another team, so it's just more opportunities for him to get to that ball. And then last one to finish it off, UFC. Give me that Mackenzie Dern money line. And that's it.
Solid.
The Giannis comment made me laugh because I remember, did y'all see the video of Victor Wemby's reverse dunk? Well, he had one, but it was so unimpressive because of how tall he is.
He didn't even jump,
it's
probably.
not like he got insane air. He just almost looked like he walked under the basket and just dropped it in. I was like, that's sweet. It's just,
it's cheating.
I want you to jump from half court, man. I'm just kidding.
From the 3-point line.
Was that the game that they said Anthony Davis was shaking on the bench because he was guarding him? Maybe not.
Yeah, it was against the Mavericks.
Okay, they said Anthony Davis looked shook.
I did see some memes
after
about
that game. Yeah, that was what I saw as memes. It's just BS. I'm not even bringing any concrete evidence or anything, but I think that's pretty funny because he does have a look like deer in the headlights sometimes.
He does. That meme insight. Vegas doesn't have that. I'm just kidding. But cool. So I'm going to wrap things up with myself. Last week, the touchdown score round robin, 5 out of 7 of those legs hit, so it was profitable. And I knew it too. Last week's was I texted everybody and said, it seems like it's too easy today. While that may have been true for what I told you guys, it's not true for what I decided to do. So, gonna try and, moderate myself. We're all degens here. And this week, I like all of these that I came up with. So we're gonna start off with Dowdle. I really think that after the way he's performed lately, they're going to keep leaning on him. The Bills don't have the greatest rush defense, and it's just natural. Teams tend to find themselves in short yardage red zone situations. So I like Dowdle to get involved. I'll roll the dice. That's why I like round robins and not parlays, because it's okay to drop one. I like Scatterbo against the Eagles. Bijan's almost automatic in this game. I really regret saying that, just jinx-wise, but whatever.
True. Take it back.
Then I got Rome Odunze, followed by Egbuka. I don't know. We're going to go to the Bucks game, so I feel like they broke my heart in so many ways. I think they're going to let it air out. Baker has to be upset with the way the last game turned out. And I don't just mean personal performance. Obviously, they lost horrifically. But in terms of you're going to throw the ball 50 times and not get a touchdown, Like, honestly, this game, I would also take Cade Otton. I'm going to leave that one up to the audience because
he's nice.
I like tight end targeting. Is like, doesn't matter fantasy, betting, whatever. There are teams you can tell Mike Evans is gone. Pretty sure the other old guy that constantly loses fantasy for people is also injured again. So Cade Otton's a solid number 2, excellent in the red zone, and I want to say he got like 10 targets last week. I don't know.
He went off.
So yeah. Then I got Pittman Jr. for the Colts game. I would have done Jonathan Taylor, but he's minus 450. I don't want anything that bad unless it's like a straight parlay. I might do Jonathan Taylor and Josh Jacobs. But for the last leg, I actually had Josh Jacobs, and after hearing our friends break down the Packers game with the Steelers, I'm convinced that Tucker Kraft is a very solid option. Not that he ever isn't, it's just, Josh Jacobs tends to be kind of automatic for the same reason that the others are, just short yardage red zone situations. But Tucker Kraft's been on fire, and like somebody or multiple people said, Steelers are weak against tight ends. So I'm personally going to go Tucker Kraft.
Yes, sir.
Solid.
Sweet. I can't wait. I'm going to recap this in a week and talk about how I became a millionaire.
Should be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to head over to your place this weekend, Joe. Catch the Cowboys demolition of the Broncos. I'm still salty about, 2 years ago, maybe 3?
Yeah, it was 3. Every 3 to 4 years we get whooped by them. Not this weekend.
No, not this weekend. Cool. Well, so welcome again, Clark. You did a great job today. Looking forward to having you on the show continuously.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate this.
Not a problem. So, yeah, thanks to the audience for tuning in. Joe and Angel, our regulars. Moneyline Hacks for sponsoring the show, and looking forward to make some money this weekend.
Let's cash.
Go Dodgers.
All right. Have a good one, everybody.